After the planning phase is completed, it's time to put the ideas into action to achieve the project goals in the performing phase, which includes both executing and monitoring and controlling phase. Monitoring and controlling is relatively important as it tracks the project progress, so that the project manager is able to identify the deviations and implement corrective actions to ensure everything goes according to plan. The performing phase involves several key activities and outputs to ensure effective project execution. Project monitoring and controlling activity enables project teams to track progress, compare it against the project plan, and identify any deviations or gaps. Project meeting minutes and project status reports are the outputs which provide valuable information about discussions, decisions, and current project performance in this activity. During project execution, changes can sometimes arise unexpectedly. Here is where the change management is in place. Change management involves assessing and handling changes that may arise during project execution. The project change log serves as a record of all changes made during the project. This log includes change requests, approvals, rejections, and their impacts on scope, schedule, and budget. The change log ensures that all changes are properly evaluated and implemented. Managing communication is also important for effective collaboration among stakeholders during the performing phase. A well-defined communication plan describes the stakeholder involved, the information to be communicated, frequency and method of communication. It ensures that stakeholders receive timely and accurate information on the project status and progress based on their interests and influences. There are several tools, techniques, and templates in the performing phase. Key elements of effective meetings such as setting clear agendas, defining roles, and following up on action items to ensure that project meetings are well-structured and productive. The project meeting minutes template is used to document meeting discussions, decisions, and action items, providing a reference for all participants. The project status report template presents project progress, challenges, and upcoming tasks in a structured format, keeping stakeholders informed. Various project monitoring tools and techniques are utilized to collect data and track performance. This includes project management software, progress reports, and key performance indicators. The project change management process includes steps and procedures to assess, review, and implement changes in a controlled manner. It ensures that changes are thoroughly evaluated and integrated into the project effectively. Finally, the project change management log maintains a record of all changes and their outcomes to help on managing project scope effectively. With the implementation of these tools and techniques, the project team establishes a strong foundation for efficient project management and communication throughout the performing phase. In the project monitoring and controlling process, the project manager assesses the actual performance of the project against the planned performance to determine if they are being met from each aspect of triple constraints, which includes high-risk tasks, product performance, progress related to project milestones, resource utilization, costs, and expenses. There are several tools and techniques used as follows. To monitor project schedule, a project schedule plan or Gantt chart is used to provide a visual representation of the project schedule, showing the sequence of tasks, their durations, and dependencies. In order to compare actual project performance against the original plan, a project baseline can be established for progress measurement. Project managers can conduct meetings with the project team or stakeholders to discuss project status, identify challenges, find solutions and synchronize information within the team. Besides, observation on project activities by project managers can help in assessing the performance against established success criteria. Project managers can also follow up on action plans with the team members to address identified issues. Feedback and reports such as progress reports, status reports, and end-of-phase or monthly evaluation reports helps to communicate project status and progress to the stakeholders. Project progress control helps to ensure that a project stays on track and is completed successfully within the planned schedule. When a project falls behind schedule, project managers need to implement strategies to address the delays and get the project back on track. Before implementing any strategy, the first step is to identify the next work package in the critical path. Once the next work packages in the critical path have been identified, project manager can use various strategies such as allocating more resources or crashing, increasing the existing resource time or overtiming, improve the resource's skill, improving the working methods and tools to increase efficiency and reduce the project scope, or reprioritize the work packages through a scope change. As we move into the performing phase, it's important to understand the concept of scope creep, as mishandling will lead to significant consequences like project delays, higher cost, and decreased project success. Scope creep refers to the unauthorized addition of new features, requirements, or work beyond the agreed-upon scope of a project. Let's explore the reason for scope creep and how to avoid it. This often arises due to various factors, including interference from the customer, incomplete scope statements, poor change control systems, miscommunication among team members, external factors like market conditions or regulatory requirements. How to avoid scope creep? Project managers can establish clear communication channels between stakeholders and limit direct communication between the customer and team members to prevent misunderstandings or unauthorized changes. Develop a detailed and well-communicated scope statement that clearly defines the project's objectives and deliverables to ensure stakeholders share a common understanding. Implementing a change control process that requires formal documentation, evaluation, and approval for any scope changes to ensure the changes undergo a thorough review and approval process before implementation. Project manager shall monitor the project's progress regularly to detect deviations early. While scope creep involves adding features unintentionally, gold plating, on the other hand, involves adding extra features or functionalities to a product or deliverable that were not part of the product scope voluntarily at no additional cost. They do it with intentions that the customer will appreciate the additional value. However, gold plating can lead to scope creep, increased costs, and wasted effort if the customer does not find the added features valuable. These are some of the reasons for gold plating. The team members are trying to make the customers happy or to prove their ability, whereas the project manager may earn additional credit or to divert attention from defects. To avoid gold plating, project managers should take the following measures, such as only approving changes to the project scope after careful evaluation of their impact and value to the customer, and establish open communication lines within the team to ensure that everyone understands the project's objectives and scope. Changes are common and inevitable in projects due to requirement change, new information, and other external factors. Change management is important for controlling and adapting to changes, mitigating risks, engaging stakeholders, maintaining scope control, and fostering a culture of continuous improvement. Change management is the process of coordinating and managing changes across the entire project lifecycle. It starts during project initiation and continues until project closure. The primary goal of change management is to ensure that all changes to the project are carefully controlled, approved, and effectively implemented. Change control is a process that identifies when a change has occurred and ensures that the project is aware of the change. It involves capturing and documenting change requests, evaluating the impact, and making decisions on whether to accept or reject the change. Here you can see an example of a change request form which project teams would usually fill up when there is a change. A change request form is a formal document used to submit proposed changes to the project scope, schedule, budget, or any other aspect of the project. It helps to capture necessary details about the change and provides essential information to the project sponsor or stakeholders to assess its impact on the project. Below it you can see an example of a change request log, which serves as a centralized record or database that tracks all change requests throughout the project's lifecycle. It provides an overview of each change, including its status, assessment details, decision, and implementation status. During the performing phase, communication plays a key role in ensuring that stakeholder is updated with the project's progress and status. Within the project team, internal communication is needed for project coordination and status updates. Here are some of the purposes for why communication with stakeholders is essential. First, sharing of information to keep stakeholders informed about the project's status and developments. Besides, it promotes team coordination and collaboration by helping the team to work together towards common project goals. Project managers are able to align and manage expectations of every stakeholder. Communication also helps in building relationships and trust between team members. Clear communication ensures that stakeholders have access to necessary information to make better decisions. Lastly, it helps to resolve issues or conflicts in a timely manner. One of the most common communication methods for project teams would be through meetings, and it is important for project managers to hold effective project meetings. Here we can see an example of the items to be considered for a meeting. Before a meeting, ensure its purpose, agenda, and desired outcome are clear. Identify participants, share the agenda, prepare materials and location, and communicate the meeting's duration to key attendees. During the meeting, start on time, state the purpose and agenda, facilitate discussions, and conclude by summarizing the key points discussed. After the meeting, ensure clear decisions are confirmed, document action items, publish meeting minutes, and execute decisions as needed.